Now, it's important to say at this stage, because this can trip people up a little bit as well. When you write functions in Python, it's really important you understand the difference between what is termed a local variable and a global variable. So a local variable is one which lives inside a function, but it is not visible outside of that function. So anything that any variables that we create within a function cannot be seen outside of that function. So you can see here, in this example, I created these three variables in the function called number1, number2, and number3. If I try to refer to those outside of the function, it'll say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what number1 is. They only exist within this function. Now that means that you can also create outside of that function another variable called number1, and that will be a separate variable to the one that lives within the function. Okay, because these are local variables. They are local only to that function. They only exist whilst that function is running, essentially. The inputs as well that are passed into it are also examples of local variables. I should have pointed that out. Now, those are local variables. A global variable is one which is defined outside of a function. Okay, and they can be used and referenced anywhere. Python can see them completely. However, just to add a little wrinkle, if you want to change them within a function, then you have to use something known as the global keyword. Now, it is generally not recommended to do this. It is considered actually bad programming practice, so I'm not going to teach you how to do it. But just be aware, if you see a keyword called global before a variable name, it basically means this. It's a way of giving a function kind of permission to change something globally. That's bad practice. You are supposed to do things like pass over to the function things that it needs to work with, and then it would pass those things back. You're not supposed to directly reference things from within a function unless you are working with objects or external objects, but variables within your code you shouldn't be changing in that way. So just bear that in mind, that the thing that will trip you up the most until you get used to it is this idea of local variables, that whatever you call these things in here, they only exist within the function. They don't exist outside of the function.